How's it going, guys? Today we are back in the garage and I'm going to be showing you how to change transmission fluid on your manual 2000 Honda Civic. Could be pretty much any 90s Honda Civic manual transmission. Alright, so first off, very simple, pretty easy, almost like changing the oil in your car. Just gotta grab your transmission fluid. So what I've gone with is this Redline MT90 gear oil. You have to make sure it's for a manual transmission. There's a difference between automatic and manual, as well as axle oil. Like for a truck or something like that with solid axles, they use gear oil, but it can be different weights and all that. So MT90 and regular Redline MT is what I've heard is good, as well as Honda manual transmission fluid or the Synchro Mesh fluids. I'm pretty sure there's a couple companies that make that, like Pennzoil and whatnot, Synchro Mesh. But yeah, just make sure it's for manual transmission. And between the Redline, the Synchro Mesh, and the Honda, that's what I read up to be the best ones online. You can do your own research. Just Google transmission fluid for this. You're gonna need 2 quarts, and we're gonna go look in the car, show you how to drain it and where to fill it. Go ahead, pop your hood, come on over, bam, transmission's there. So in here, back towards the firewall, you got your throttle body. Obviously my car is quite modified, yours won't look exactly like this, but under the throttle body, come down here right beside your clutch line. In the back you have your speed sensor. All right, so here behind your clutch line you've got your speed sensor. That's where you're going to fill it. Just a little 10 bolt there. Undo that, this pops straight out, and your drain port is going to be down there under your axle. Go ahead and jack up your car. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you. Jacked it up in the front here, in that point over there, which is good because it's slightly to the driver's side, so it'll angle the car just a little this way so the fluid can drain. And this port here, right under your axle, is what you're gonna be using to drain the fluid out. It should just be a normal, I guess it's a 3/8 or 1/4 inch socket. You'll just shove it in there, break it loose, drain your fluid out, fill it in through the top, and that's about it. All right, so grab your normal 3/8 socket and bring it in here. You can literally just put that right in, break that free, drain your fluid, and yeah, we can see just how bad that fluid is, if we had enough, kind of thing like that. So if that can give us any indicators as to whether this was required. I have no idea when this was last done in this car. Plus, the shifting, it's a little bit crunchy on the synchros sometimes, which is just a symptom of these old Honda transmissions. But sometimes changing the fluid can make it better, smoother. So that's what we're hoping for. All right, so we just cracked our drain plug loose, and it's coming out now. It looks very dark, very gross, and I'm not even sure if we're gonna get 2 quarts out of that, so I think we definitely needed to replace this. This is pretty yucky, so. Whew. Alright, so now that you drained all of the fluid, you want to remove that speed sensor that I showed you. Let me get you down in here. Just loosen that bolt, pull straight up, it comes right out. Looks like this, just a little gear and stuff, and you just pull straight out. There's no real orientation for it. Just make sure you line up that bolt when you put it back in, and grab a long funnel, some hose, plug it into there, and you can fill up the transmission. All right, so before you fill it, obviously put your drain plug back in. I got a new washer, put some thread sealant on it. Go ahead, shove that in there, and then fill it up from the top. So here is my funnel setup to get that oil in. Funnel with a tube going into another tube, going straight down into there. Fill up your 2 quarts, and I'm just gonna make sure every last drop's drained out. And then you can take this out, put your speed sensor back in there, and then start your car, go through the gears, obviously with the clutch in, but like just go through so it moves it, and get it going around, go for a drive, see how it feels. And I'm going to pour this oil into there so I can kind of measure how much we actually had in our transmission, and then when we go driving, if it feels better, that'll be the obvious answer. And I'm hoping that it shifts a little bit better, but we'll see. Alright guys, so here is another important reason why I always do this after I change oil in anything. Poured it back into our measurement here, our container here, which we know is about 1 quart, and it's filled not quite full. So this is probably just under a quart, and that's what came out of our transmission. There's supposed to be 2 quarts in there. So I just cleaned this up, wiped it down. I didn't see any metal shavings or anything like that that would make me be worried about anything. But yeah, that's obviously not good. It's dirty looking. It's been a while. Hashtag stained. So obviously we filled it back up. Now we got 2 quarts in there. Exactly what's supposed to be. So I have a good feeling that it's probably going to feel a little bit nicer. I don't know if it'll completely fix we have like the typical 3rd gear grind. We don't have any gears popping out or anything like that, but just some grinding in 3rd gear when you're really kind of getting on it. So I don't know, let's give it some shifts and see how it feels. Just went for a drive essentially home from the garage, and it feels good. It's not like some crazy difference, obviously, but it seems to be shifting good. We know that the fact that it only had less than a quart of transmission fluid in the bottle after we drained it out originally shows that it needed to be done. And well, the big issue I was having was going to reverse would clunk like pretty much every time, but now I just put it into reverse twice and didn't clunk at all. So it should be good, nice. That's something now we don't have to worry about for a while. So that's it for this one, guys. How to change the fluid in your manual transmission. New videos coming on this channel every Saturday. Follow me on my Instagram for the most up-to-date shit if you want to see more with this car, and I'll see you later.
When you ask me to bring that guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no. If you ask me bring the guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no, no. That shit's too expensive.